and got that out. And it's like, man, if you got a blab going on today, you need to see this video before you do.
Yeah, thanks. That worked.
Give us, and Chuck just mentioned that you have some ideas about utilizing this product. Why don't you share some of that?
That's why I wanted to jump in. I'm a blab addict. I am such a blab addict. I was with Ronnie Benser when he launched the Hangout Helper. As a matter of fact, I'm the one who did his website, and I was there with him right from the beginning. And we were having our meetings at midnight because, being an innovator, you got to keep up. And unfortunately, with HOAs, they were changing every, 5 minutes or something.
Days,
and he spent all day and night doing that. And then we had our meetings afterward, at midnight or whatever. And still, to this day, it's that way for him because of all the changes and things that are happening with it. But him being an innovator, it made his career. He was doing SEO videos, SEO for videos. And then the HOA thing came along, and he just took all of that and flipped over to there. And of course, it absolutely made his career. And that's the mainstay of what he does now. So I tried it, but I just couldn't keep up. And I didn't look, guys, I've got all the learning curves I can stand every day, right? And I couldn't keep up with it. And it was glitchy and all kinds of things. And it seemed stuffy to me a little bit. It was a little formal. And for me, I really like being able to engage with my audience because, especially with WordPress and SEO and things like that, you can get all the generic tips in the world, and it's not going to help you on your site and do your business and that kind of thing. So when Blab came along, I passed up Periscope, I passed up Meerkat because it's one to many, and that's still not doing the same thing. When Blab came along, I jumped on it. I have loved it. I try to jump into as many Blabs as I can like this for that reason. I have and Ray, you and I've never spoken, I don't think. And all these people that I've been engaging with for years now on social media. Eileen Smith and I got to talk, all these people that are in here, and Scott and some of these other folks, we finally get to engage with each other. So it's deepening a lot of connections. Honestly, what Chuck mentioned about me being on that other Blab, I can't afford not to be on Blab. This is the best content that I can think to create. It's transparent. It's authentic. If you throw a question at me, you're seeing that I don't have time to look it up. I've got that answer. If I know what I'm talking about, and if I don't know, you see my integrity in saying, I don't know. Anybody else got an idea? And bringing the village in for that sort of thing, and us all helping each other because nobody's going to know everything. And I don't mean to hog the whole camera here, but jumping in on some of the things that we're saying about innovators. And Randy, what you said about I think it was you, Randy, that said, learning from all of these people. I was the one who was up till 3 a.m. making that video. So everybody that came to do a Blab today could learn from that. I have a course on Blab. I jumped on that immediately. It's up on Udemy, and teaching people, because on this platform in particular, things like this, with the kind of show that you're doing where you have a co-host and you're doing interviews, but you're opening it up to the audience for all the richness that they can bring and having call-ins, you really have to be a strong host to handle a show like that. So in my course, I'm teaching people how to be those strong hosts and how to manage the show so it doesn't get away from them. And I watch people like Michael Stelzner. He has got a hopping show on there for Social Media Examiner, and he's kind of running like talk radio, very much. And he's got people running in and out. Mia Voss, she brought her Power Chat back on this, which is perfect for it, way beyond what HOAs were doing for her. This is so perfect. And the 5 minutes in the box thing to have people come in and out, and they can share their links. It stays in those comments for the replays. It's a perfect place for that. All the people who did HOAs and cut their teeth on learning how to do that are bringing that mentality over, and I think some of it's limiting. That stuffy, it's an interview, we're not going to engage with our audience kind of a thing. I don't think they're doing as well as like y'all are with a show like this. So.
I think Blab is going to be very happy with your endorsement, man.
Yeah. So I guess what I heard you say, man, you're saying that the old Hangout on Air crowd is migrating over to Blab, and they're leaving Hangout on Air.
No, they're doing okay, so they've already got that audience there. And I would say this to podcasters too. I've seen a lot of people just drop what they were doing and come over and say, whoa, hold it. They've built this audience. The other thing about the Hangouts on Air is the event calendar, and it integrates with your Google Calendar. So what I've seen a lot of people do is they have their regular HOA to get that replay, to get it uploaded to YouTube, to do that interview level type thing, and to get it on people's calendar. And then they come have an after party on Blab, which is, I understand that, but by the same token, I don't necessarily have an hour to watch your show and then an hour to do a Blab to engage with you. So I think that's going to fall apart. So what I've seen people do is use an event, and I'm about to do this too. I've never created an event on Google Plus. I'm about to, for my Blabs. Wow. So it gets into that calendar, because that's, of course, the one thing that Blab is missing.
I wonder if I'll bring that. That's a very good point, Mariana, because we're struggling with that too. I mean, we've run our show now for over 2 years on the Google event page, and we had a very loyal audience. And now we're moving off. I'm embedding it right now. I'm using Crowdcast, but that's going to end soon. I'm embedding it on my website, which is WordPress, by the way. And and we're seeing how that works. And I didn't want to split the audience too much, give them too many options on where to catch the show. I wanted to be as simple as possible, and hadn't actually thought of just putting the Blab on the event page. And I wonder if that would tick people off again. But it's no different than putting an event on a Facebook. I imagine it's just saying, here, go over to Blab on this date and this time, and join us.
Hey, Ray, this is so good. I don't care if it pisses people off. I can't afford not to be on Blab. That's really what it comes down to. I can afford not to be on HOAs. Now, I've been a guest. I enjoy being interviewed, but I am never going to run my own because I can't keep up with it. And the one thing that I love about this is it is partnered with Twitter, and the whole thing about Twitter kept it alive so long is it's stupid, simple. And even when they roll out all these changes, it doesn't take us very long to catch up with them. And they're in here. Brittany's jumped into one of my Blabs. She jumps into other people's Blabs. They're listening directly to their audience. When was the last time Google did that?
That's a great point, Mariana. That's a great point.
May, you can answer this. There's a question in here. I can't answer this. Anyone putting Blabs into Facebook yet? Is that a possibility?
I've been seeing a lot of integrations. I saw one from, I don't think it's Facebook, but I did see an integration. I put it up in Tips Tuesday today from the Simple Press people. They do the podcast press plugin that integrates into your site. Now they have a plugin they've got coming for your Blabs, and it integrates into your site. It brings them over automatically. You set up that integration once, and every new Blab you have, it brings it over. That plugin's not out, and this rollout is going to kill it because you're recording, and Ray, you need to do this today. When you finish with this and turn it off, you need to go make that recording live. It's not automatically live. So that's going to throw a kink in that plugin. Hey, that's part of beta, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But that plugin is really impressive in that it has a bunch of buttons at the bottom for people to subscribe to you, to find you in other places, those kinds of things. It is a sweet plugin. Here's the one caveat that I saw with it. It's the same caveat that I saw with one of the G Plus plugins, that it brings in your comments too, which is fantastic. Now, it has no text in the blog post. It puts it under the right category that you choose, whatever it is that you choose. Of course, everybody's going to put Blab or something like that, but it brings in the comments. I think that's against the terms of service of Twitter, that people here could delete their own comment. But when it goes into the native WordPress comments, they can't delete it. Now, there is a G Plus comments plugin that does the same thing. It brings in the post and the comments, and that's definitely against Google's terms of service. I've never seen anybody enforced on that or a complaint about it or whatever. So they're getting away with it, but use it at your own risk, just knowing that.
So at this point, man, you can't embed a Blab before airtime on the web.
The live streaming, I think that's coming. Not yet that I know of. I'm positive that devs all over are doing what I'm doing, and that's trying to do early adapters now. And I had talked to Eileen Smith about this. As a matter of fact, Eileen, I hope you don't mind me telling this story. You know what I'm about to say. So if you want to pop a message in here and tell me shut up, I will. But we've been talking, I've been talking back channels with a lot of folks. Thanks, Eileen. And about, I went out and got the domain name, What's on Blab.
Oh, excellent. Good for you.
I tried for Blaboon. I tried for a while, honey. They were taken. People are eating this up like crazy. And I got What's on Blab, and I'm sitting on it for a moment. Most of the others are gone, like, Blab or Own Blab or things like that. They're already gone. And people are going to make a fortune even if they just flip the domain. So being an innovator, there's another place is where you can do domain real estate and make a fortune. So I wanted to put up a show, but the integration's not there. It was going to be a manual time suck. And of course, I was going to put it up for free, invite people like y'all, because it's all going to be what I had planned anyway, is for it to be a curated list of business and marketing and tech and sites and that kind of thing, not just the all over the place, everything that's on Blab, but something that's curated. And so have all of y'all come put your stuff in there so it'll be integrated with the calendar, close that gap. And the problem was you would also have to manually come in and do these updates. So, I'm going to go to that Simple Press guy and say, hey, can you make me a custom plugin for this site that will automatically bring in those blabs per author? That's
very cool. Well, listen, because it's the end of our Blab today. And I got to say, first of all, it was great having you on, and all the comments were amazing. I love Blab. I'm so happy that I found it. And you're right, man. There's so many faces that I've actually got to talk to, that I see in my stream all the time. And I have to say today's extra special because I've been sandwiched between two Southerners. And, you can't get warmer than that with a guy that living in Montreal. So
it was real nice to connect with you, man. I appreciate your sharing with us as much as you did. That's great.
Yes. And thanks, Eileen, for the tip about the recording thing, because I didn't know how to record because it wasn't there until I refreshed. So unfortunately, we'll miss the first part of the show. But again, thanks to you all so much. The Ray2Go show is on rayhills.com/Ray2Go. That's the show that preceded this show. So if we want to see how the panel thought about the topic of trailblazing and innovation, go there. And certainly Mariana gave us all kinds of examples of how innovative she is. So thanks again. See you next week. Bye-bye.